Hi yo, what's good everybody? Welcome to another video. Gotta get a little bit of stretching. Today we're gonna talk about the Storm Collectibles Reptile. I believe this is the Mortal Kombat 3 version or beyond. I'm unsure anymore. The point is, we're getting Reptile. So, if you're super excited, you should be, because I've had a good time with the Storm Collectible stuff. I like the fact that we're getting a bunch of different things out there, and Reptile is no different. Reptile is one of those cool characters whose fighting style made him look so much cooler than he was creepy, because after seeing the new Mortal Kombat movie, I gotta say, in reality, Reptile is kind of crazy. Um, so yeah, and it works though, and it works because it is a good look. I think this is the Mortal Kombat 3 design, or is it Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3? I can't remember, but I like the broader shoulders. I like this body design, just like with Scorpion, just like with Sub-Zero. We get that recolor of the ninja design, which I'm here for. But I will say this, there is something different about Reptile's plastic. I don't know what it is. I can't really put my fingers on it, but it feels different, feels stronger, a little bit more sturdy. Because when I talk about Sub-Zero, Sub-Zero is nice and it has an excellent body type. I really like the way that Sub-Zero is. But there is something different about its plastic. I don't know if it's because it's been matted out or it's a different type of plastic, but I want to make a note that it does feel different and stronger. So for those of you that were thinking about that, I just want to put that out there for you. Now, one thing I also want to talk about is the difference is they took the time to not do one of those things where it's like, oh, we're just going to recolor in the same eyes. They actually gave him reptile eyes. It's like, I like the fact that that was done. Let me see if I can get there we go. That optical zoom. So as you can see there, they gave him actual reptile eyes. And that's something that I just wanted to point out, where it's like, there's, like I said, a little bit of that stuff goes a long way. We have our big mask design. I'm not a fan of the big mask, but it does make sense to cloud that design. I actually like the breathable mask design from the original one. I wish I could find a way to swap that on, but it won't work. But I like those designs because the big cloth masks are nice, but for some reason it doesn't feel like it's updated with that ninja design. I don't know what that is, but that's just me. But here we are looking at him, solid, good, a big bulky man. Well, reptile, I should say. And he cold-blooded. Like, I mean that. Like, he's legit cold-blooded. So, as you can see there, we have our strong ratchet joint. Again, you can add some silicone shock oil. I did a plastic party about that in case you're wondering what silicone shock oil is. For those that continue to ask, there is a video called Plastic Party Silicone Shock, or Why Do I Build Army Builders Part 2. That's literally the title. So yeah, let's talk about articulation. On the head, you get your standard ninja articulation. You're going to hear the squeaking, but I like that because it lets me know it's strong. But on videos, I try to, prevent that. So here we are. We can look up. And as you can see, it sits a little high. That way it allows for lots of movement left and right. That soft rubber allows it to get that obvious movement. You know what I mean? But we also have a nice smooth transition in the arms. Look, none of that creaky sound. I know a lot of you are worried about that. We have a nice butterfly joint that goes forwards. Our vest is going to be a little restrictive, but it's soft, so it allows for that movement. We have our bicep swivel, shoot forward out, there we go. We have our double joint, but because of our muscular design, we won't be able to go a little further. Keep that in mind. We have our standard wrist peg, which allows you to rotate down and around. You get a full 360, well, not 360. That's not what I meant, but you know what I meant, damn it. That allows you to get a nice bit of movement, because I don't want you to take my words literal. Not everybody's Drax, okay? So we can actually wiggle. Oh, there we go with our big mask. I got to find a way to secure that. I think that's one of the things, that's probably why I don't like the big mask. It's just not secure in a way because you're going to move it around a lot. So we'll find an alternative one day. But we can swivel side to side with no problem. As you can hear our plastic turning with it, right? You get a nice deep forward ab crunch because of our soft plastic. You get it. It doesn't look like it, but it's there underneath that gi. And as you can see, you'll actually be able to tear it down if you want because it's soft. Our legs can go outward, allowing for full ninja moves for all of those who are worried. We do have thigh swivel as well. You can rotate outward and a little bit inward. There's going to be that big leg design, muscular design, that prevents it from going crazy inward, but we can go outward, which again allows for more movement. We have a double joint, so you can sit Indian style should you choose. And as far as our foot, we can go backwards, we can go forwards, we have a toe pivot, and we can rotate inward and outward. So you have a lot. Oh, I'm sorry I held that up. Sorry about that. But yeah, you have a lot of movement. So the world is your oyster for figuring out how you want to pose your reptile up. I'm going to pose him in ways that makes Reptile look like Reptile, at least in my opinion, without swapping our hands just yet, because we're going to get to that soon. But as you can see here, poses up pretty well. This is straight out of the box, no silicone shock oil. We can hold our poses, but our mask won't hold. And that's fine because I'm going to put on our reptile head. We're going to get to that right now. So as you can see here, we can lean in and get a nice hunched over pose, which is really nice in my opinion, because when you want to get crazy posed up, like jumping behind characters, getting your arms posed up, this is going to be an A+ effort in movement, right? Is that folding over because of me? Yeah, it is folding over because of me, but that's fine. So now, again, with this mask falling, that's a little bit of a bummer. Thought it would hold a little better. I want to talk about our reptile head. This is A1. I took the short tongue out on purpose. I love this head. This is the head that I want to leave on almost all the time. It's utterly ridiculous. I love it. And I'm going to bite everybody's heads off. I feel like this is where it's at. This head is amazing, right? Out the box, you're going to immediately have the short tongue on. And I believe I have it upside down. I do. So you want to match this tab going upward. Pop that in, right? I'm not going to put it all up. Ended up putting it all the way in. As you can see there. And because I don't have nails, I can't really wiggle it out. So I did that. But you will get the long tongue variant. So that way you can do fatalities or special moves when he pulls his mask down. Look at this. My man got range. Like, oh, is it bendable? Oh, it's not bendable. Okay. But that would have been dope though. And you actually get a spitting acid effect part as well. This is really dope because look at that. Again, I love the color in this. The clear green translucent is always an A++. But again, if you want to put your reptile head on, which I'm going to do here, what's really cool about the reptile head, and I want to put it on first, is that just like, and it sits even a little bit lower as well too, right? But what's really cool about this, and this was A+ effort, right? In case you want to have him like a ninja, like he's removing his mask, you can pop this on, and now you have this mask part, which for me, I don't know what about this just makes it scream so much more fun, but it's just the ridiculousness that I think that feels it with that allows me to just be like, yo, this is why I love this. Like, look at that. Let's fix, there we go. Like, I don't know why this works for me. I know it seems stupid, but I love this kind of stuff where it's like, we're going to feed into our ridiculousness and make it even crazier by showing you like, he still technically has his mask on, but his face is going to morph. And I love that. I love it for real. And when comparing it to the old one, that one is a little bit smoother. And this one has the ridges on the old one because it's not really fit for holding this back mask part. I tried it on. It fits, but not as smoothly as this one will fit. Because when you try to pop it on, see how it's a little bit smaller, it covers it a little bit more crazy. So you can actually have a cool dino head on this one too, in case you want to try the old one, right? Even more accessories wise, you will get a slew of hands and a cool effect part. But I want to talk about the cool effect part first, because I don't think you guys realize how big, like this covers the whole body. This is a big, nice effect part, which can be used for Reptile in a bunch of different ways. You'll also get a stand, and the stand comes with nice variations because if you want to shoot it upward or aim it higher, you can actually build the stand up several levels. So you can like aim it a little bit higher, like or in midair, right? Or let's say you don't want it that high. You can swap this out. Boom. You can set it lower. And I like that. That's a little bit of that's a little different. Like I like the size of that effect part and the fact that it starts off a little white clear and then goes off into a translucent green. And then we're going to talk about hands. Hands everywhere. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Put your mask and stuff back. Here we have our martial arts chopping hands. Let's switch that focus for a second. There we go. We have our martial arts or projectile holding hand. I mean, projectile shooting hands, depending on what you want to do. But I call these the straight up martial arts chopping hands. Next up, you have item holding hands, which is pretty cool because if you want Reptile to have an axe, like when Mortal Kombat started carrying weapons, you can. Then you will get posing reptile hands. If you want to be posed up like a reptile, because that's what we are. Then we have our open action hands. And the reason why I left these out for last is a particular reason because, again, I'm showing off that if you have the original reptile, this guy right here, you notice you got some effects from those. And when you do these with these hands, you can technically line up the old effect parts along the fingers. And I'm not sure if this was done on purpose, but shout out to Eddie and Andrew, because look, you can still use your old effects with it. That means you can use that, and they still line up with the ball effect. So that means even if you want to shoot the ball, you can use that as a pre-effect towards this, because you can get them to line up the hands as well here. It takes a little bit of effort because the fingers are soft. Not too much, though. And look at that. They line up just right. So I wanted to show that off properly with that. That was actually pretty cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to pop back on our ninja head. And then what we're going to do is jump into the size comparisons. See you guys in a sec. All right, guys. Now we're going to jump into the size comparisons. Yeah. First things first, I do want to compare to his previous counterpart, his previous ninja reptile. As you can see, this guy is a little bit bigger than him. A little bit more brawny, broad. I said brawny. The brawny. Stupid. We have more broader shoulders. We have bigger arms. But I do like that the whole, I don't know, something about the reptile thing just really works for me. And here we are with these two looking solid as hell. So let's take you away. Now we're going to compare to some other ninjas or not in ninjas. We're going to do mostly Storm stuff because they're their own scale pretty much. And that just makes it easier. Here we are with Sub-Zero. And with Sub-Zero, we can keep it pretty simple. They're pretty much the same body. Like, that's the ninja thing, right? But here we are with the event exclusive Scorpion. So you can see just how both similar and different they are. So we have that. Next up, let's compare a Tekken Jin, right? Because I think if there's anybody like Kazuya, Hayachi Jin, in Tekken, these guys actually stand a chance. Like, these guys do. Next up, we can do, Shao Kahn, right? You can see, because Reptile does serve Shao Kahn. I feel like these two actually have a really good size thing going on as a tiny minion, right? Next, we can compare to a much bigger character, because, you know, you want to see the differences in this kind of stuff. And here we are with Sagat, who barely fits on the screen. And just to try a couple of other different characters, here we are with Sector. It's only a little bit taller. And then we have Unmasked Sub-Zero, Kuai Liang. Actually, these two actually look really good. I might do a fight scene with those two. But yeah, kept it brown, pretty simple, comparing other Storm stuff because they're on a much bigger scale, so there's no point when they're knowing that they're that much bigger, unless you're going to do some forced perspective stuff. So in the meantime, guys, I do hope that you've enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoy Reptile. Hope you enjoy Mortal Kombat. I think 11 just ended like all its DLC, no other good jazz. So there's that. You can watch a bunch of old school animation, or you can just be all over YouTube. The point is that there's plenty of other content out there, and I'm glad you guys are watching it and enjoying it. Just know that, you know, I hope you're having a good day. And if not, hopefully this video will bring you a good day. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later. Hey, I'm in the middle of recording a video, and I just wanted to point out something. I know earlier in my video, I was having issues with my mask. So I dabbed a few little bits of clear nail polish on the slits, on the inside of the slits here on the mask, and this is gonna fall, and that's fine. But yeah, if you dab a little bit on the slits, it holds a lot better, gives it the friction that it needs. So yeah, I do recommend that if you're not gonna just glue it in and you want to like replace it, paint it, swap it, whatever it is you're gonna do. Just a heads up, a quick dab of quick nail polish, and I use my wife's nail polish. Well, no, this is the one I bought because hers is way better than this. But yeah, any sort of clear nail polish will do the trick. Just wanted to add that on, and thank you guys. Later. Bye.